Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our webinar series. Today, we're going to talk about our service desk, which is where our customers can make support tickets. My name is Kenneth Nielsen. I'm the marketing specialist at AMC Banking, and with me today, I have my coworker Marius, who is IT specialist and also working on service desk. During this webinar, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can look on the right side of your screen. You have this small tab called questions. You can always write questions and we'll try our best to answer these questions. Remember to follow us on LinkedIn and also sign up for our newsletter, where we're going to send out communication about also future webinars, which is going to be every second week. So, service desk. Can you take us through service desk?
Yeah,
Marius.
Sure. Let's take a look, and we're gonna begin by talking about our team, the people that are behind service desk, and oftentimes the ones that are in contact with you, with the customers. We're also gonna explain how to create a ticket, who has access to creating a ticket, the difference between the particular roles of users on the service desk portal, how to reset the password, any other small things that oftentimes we came across and realized that it's nice to share and talk about, just to make sure we have a better communication.
Just a small quick note. Nicole asked, is it okay if I record this meeting? This meeting is actually being recorded right now. So after the webinar, when you signed up with your mail, you should be getting this recording afterwards. So you don't need to record this meeting. I'm also going to put this on LinkedIn, so you can always watch this afterwards if you need to leave at any time or whatever. So,
nice.
Carry on. Yes, sorry for disturbing.
Yeah, no worries. So we can also just go ahead and start. We can talk about the people behind service desk.
Yes.
We are the support and operations team here within AMC. We'll just start with me. As Kenneth mentioned, my name is Marius Suntaru. I've been in AMC for the past 3 years now, and within the support and operations team for 2 years. You can see over there that you can oftentimes find me under the support level 1. This is something that is not really visible to the people creating the tickets or the customers, but it's something that we use internally to organize ourselves and better manage how we handle the tickets in the most efficient way possible. I'm gonna explain how it really works. Mm-hmm. We also have Leonard Leto, who is our internal legend here within AMC. He really has a wide knowledge about the way the bank works, the way the extending service works, all the ERP systems and how they all communicate with each other. And he would almost always be able to help out on any service desk ticket. You might as well already know him. Then we have Ali Azam. He's our product manager here within AMC. Mm-hmm. He's also our team leader in the support and operations team, and he oftentimes can be found under level 3, which is basically the level where we all take a look before answering a ticket. It's a kind of like a platform that we all share internally to be able to look at all the tickets. And we essentially use these levels to organize ourselves based on availability. Maybe one of us can cover all the levels at one point, or maybe just some of the levels. For example, on level 1, I would oftentimes be available all the time and then be able to answer smaller tickets that can be solved fast, like whitelisting an IP address for access to the extending services or any other case like that. And that's pretty much all in regards to the team.
Yes. So what do you got for us today, Marius?
We can also just go ahead and try to create a service desk ticket. We can showcase how to log in and also how to manage the users that can have access to the service desk portal. Mm-hmm. If I can share my screen here.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's assume that this would be the very first time where I'm trying to create a service desk ticket. Mm-hmm. And what I would do is I would go to our website, amcbanking.com. And over here under the support tab, we can see The first option will be the knowledge base, which is also a good idea to check out before creating a ticket, because the question you might have might already be answered from before. So it's nice to go through that and see some documentation and use cases related to Business Central, finance and operations, Extending, as well as the service desk itself. We can over here see a better explanation of our user roles, which is pretty basic. I would say we have two main roles. We have a license administrator, who is by default a support user as well. He's also the only user that can create another support user. And the other role that is dedicated for support users can be assigned to any other user, but it would involve extra costs. The only support user that is assigned by default is the license administrator, and down it's without any costs. You can also find more information related to the costs on our website. You can make use of our single sign-on functionality, which is set up between the service desk portal and also the license portal. What it essentially means is that we have the same credentials, so all the users could be managed on the license portal. The password could be reset for the users on the license portal, also within the service desk. But essentially, that's where you can keep track of all the support users and who has access to the service desk portal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we maybe just give a quick explanation between the difference between the license portal and the service desk?
Sure. Yeah, so
because we know a lot of people, they get this mixed up sometimes. They mix up the service desk and the license server. So they're actually two different domains, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we have two different domains. We have license.amcbanking.com, which is the license server or the license portal. That's where you can manage any service plans that you might purchase with us, or any banks, bank connections, bank accounts,
approval of bank accounts.
Yeah, exactly. And that's mostly focused on the license itself.
Yes.
But the same credentials that are used for the users within the license portal can also be used to log in into the service desk portal.
Yes.
That would make it easier for everybody to have access to the license portal and reset the password, or gain access. And at the same time, the service desk portal is mostly dedicated for having consultancy cases, development cases, regular error, cases where there's a particular error, whether in the ERP system or in Extending. And all of this is done through our portal that is based on the Clasion products. It's in the Clasion service desk portal. I know there's some different ones out there, and maybe it's good to know. And
if there's any technical guys out there.
Yeah.
So to create a ticket, where should I start?
Well, we can try right now also straight from the website. We can go over here under the support tab, and we can either click on service desk and it would redirect us to the service desk portal, or you can also find the same link at the bottom of the page or the bottom of the website. It's over here. We can just try it. Service desk, we are already logged in from before with a demo user. And you can have an overview of the consultancy cases over here. Any ongoing cases that you have at the moment, you can keep an eye on them and see the progress of the cases. You can also go back and have an overview of the service desk cases, where you can also create a brand new case. It's worth taking into consideration the options that are set up here, because it's easier for us to identify what type of case it is. This way, we are also better at offering faster solutions. It's just a more efficient way for us to be able to keep track of what type of tickets we're dealing with. And the first option is the regular support ticket itself. It could be, again, an error within the ERP system or something with Extending. The other option would be an IP whitelisting for access to our Extending services. Then the last one would be the Microsoft LCS registration, which is related to our lifecycle services, where we can also kind of whitelist an email address that can have access to downloading our FNO packages, the latest release notes, and the latest version as well. And it's just nice to keep track of these type of tickets so we can offer a faster help. Yeah.
So if I want to give a quick overview of all of my current cases and also previous cases, is there a place I can do that on the service desk?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We have here on the front page, we can just see the cases created by me or the cases created by the entire organization, or list the ones that I have access to. Because we can see over here the cases created by me.
Yes.
And we can search through the cases, we can filter the cases, and then if we go to the ones created by the organization, we can also see cases from a while ago, a consultancy case, for example, that was already resolved or closed. And it's a nice way to keep track of all the tickets. And yeah, should we go ahead and create a ticket?
I think so.
Nice. Okay.
Take us through it.
Yes, so we can just go over here on the homepage. We go under service desk. Let's create a basic support ticket. Yeah, the first step would be to specify the ERP system. These are all marked as with this like red asterisk, meaning that they're important steps to mention. Again, just for the sake of having a better communication with us, adding more context to the case so we can better understand what the problem is, what is your current setup, and how we can further investigate. For example, specify the ERP system version. This can also be found, I believe, in our website. There's a guide for finding out the ERP system version and the AMC Banking version.
Yes.
For this case, I'm just going to go straight through them and then create a simple demo case. Also, it's important to specify the bank and the country. It's not always the case based on the ticket to specify the bank and the country, but it's important to mention it. Also, the error type, if it relates to any of these cases, then it would be nice to know. For example, outgoing payments. Is this a case where you already have a stable production environment set up a long time ago, or is this a new environment that was just set up? Then I would pick startup. Also, the support case. It would be nice to have it simple and concise so we can keep track of it. The support case description, again, here it's nice to have as much context as possible. One thing that we were asked before, and it's important to mention, is that it's not possible to copy paste screenshots or files directly into the support case description. It's recommended to attach it as a separate file, because this way you can also attach whether, it could be a PDF file, a Word file, an email conversation that you had previously with somebody, and it could provide some context to the case. So it's better to have it attached as a separate file that you have stored locally on your own computer. And the last step, which is also very important, is whether you would like to share the case with the organization internally, or you could keep it as a private case. I would say if you have a small case that it could be solved fast and it's just a small question, you could also have it as a private case. But I would also recommend to always have it as a shared case so everybody could have access to it just in case. For this sake, we're just gonna pick it as shared. Let's add a description here. Also title, test case. Nice. So once we could click send, the case is created. You can see the status of the case right here, waiting for support, meaning that me or anybody within our support team would be able to see the ticket right now and offer an answer as soon as possible. You can also see whether the case is shared with somebody. You can also click the plus button after the ticket has been created. You can still share it with the organization or anybody who has access to the tickets of the organization. Yeah, so okay. Yeah.
So what happens now when I've added the case?
Yeah, it's it's nice to go through the flow of the case once it's created, just to know, because there could be consultancy cases to be considered before creating the case, because a consultancy case is focused on arranging a meeting with one of our consultants and then having some cost involved based on the consultancy hours. And oftentimes that's the best solution, to have somebody have a look at your setup, your scenario, and give you a solution as soon as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one type of case. We can actually demonstrate it right now. Should we try that? Yeah.
Just be noted, there's of course a cost involved when it's a consultancy related project.
Yeah.
But if the fault is on our side, of course, you're not going to be billed for the whole project.
Yeah.
We also have our guarantee of free fault correction, which I'm pretty sure we attach to every case. So if it's on our side, of course, you don't need to pay anything, just so you know.
True. So yeah, if there's any errors related to our software products, then there's no need to worry whether you're going to have to pay for the consultancy hours or not, because it would be covered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice to know.
Okay, should we create a consultancy case? Because
sure.
As it is right now, the ticket, once I would see it internally on my dashboard, I would be able to assume that, okay, this would be best solved with a consultant. And I would go and create a consultancy request. I would specify how much time is it going to take. I would provide some context to the consultants as well to be able to understand the case. I would assign it a consultancy package based on what type of problem it is. There's also different prices related to that. And I would also write a comment just to provide some answer to the customer at the same time. And yeah, I would already be able to send this consultancy request, which can be seen in a second over here. So now once we refresh the page, you can see the status has changed.
Yes.
We received the consultancy request, and we have the option to whether we would like to accept the request or reject it. And you would be able to see more information about the case, also how much time it would take, any other details in relation to the price. You see, once I refresh the page, I can see a price, I can see an explanation for what kind of case it will be and what's the next step.
Yes.
So yeah, I would either accept the request, which would then forward the case to our consultancy department, and then you would be contacted as soon as possible and arrange a meeting at your own convenience.
Yeah.
Or there's also the option to reject the consultancy request, and for whatever reason, this could also happen. And then at the same time, it would be assigned further to our sales team, where you can continue the conversation there and maybe have any questions and talk about the price or any other details of the consultancy. That would be pretty much the scenario for a consultancy type of case.
Yes. And please keep all communication on service desk, because we have some cases where people write on email. We're not going to answer these emails. So please bear in mind to keep all the communication on the service desk regarding the case in mind. Yeah,
that's definitely the best way for us to offer any help over the support and service desk portal, because over the email, it can always get cluttered. It's difficult to communicate between multiple people over the email and any other sources.
If you have questions regarding the service desk, you can, of course, write to info@amcbanking.com and we'll try to answer it. But questions regarding the case at hand, please keep it on service desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do we have left?
Yeah, there's also another regular type of case that can happen. It's a development case. Oftentimes there's, for example, feature wishes for our products within F&O or BC, where we could improve our services, also within extending maybe, or any errors maybe that would show up. Those can oftentimes be solved pretty fast, I would say, by our development teams. The case would be forwarded to our development team. They would try to reproduce any errors or anything that could provide some solution. And then you could also keep track of that case on the service desk portal. The status would change as well, sent to development, you would say, but you would still be able to see that once you go here to the cases created by me or by the organization, you would still be able to see the case, because it would change. It would not be a desk case anymore. It would be maybe a consultancy case, or so this reference here would change, but you would still be able to see it on this overview. Yeah.
Great to know.
Yes.
So we have tips and tricks. Do you have any tips and tricks for us?
Oh yeah, most definitely, because it's also easy to overlook a lot of the things that we're going through on a daily basis over service desk. And they're usually small things, right? Like, for example, in terms of attachments, again, it's nice to remember that attachments are mostly attached as a separate file that you would have on your computer rather than a copy-pasted picture or anything like that. Also, one thing to remember and keep in mind, that it's always nice to have a screenshot of the entire screen, because it's also easy, I know that myself, to just cut out a part of the screen and focus on that part. But then I would also cut out a lot of the context about my environments, which, ERP I'm using, or any other information that could actually help us provide a solution faster and have a better, more efficient communication. That's one thing. Attachments, something could also be the naming and the terms that we're using. In these cases, it's important to be specific. And when we talk about bank accounts, it should be specified that it's bank accounts, and maybe also provide an IBAN number or a BBAN number, depending on the case, just so we can identify it faster. The same with the banks. It's nice to know the bank name and the format or the country of the bank. The same with any cases where we have like missing files or anything like that. It's nice to know the transaction date, the bank accounts, maybe a journal number if there's any errors or any particular questions in relation to a journal. Those are oftentimes nice to know from before, just so we are already ready to offer a solution and be able to investigate the case.
So the more information, the better.
Yeah. True.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we went through the whole thing, unless you have anything you want to add here in the end, or?
Well, not much. If there's any questions, of course, it's nice to know that we are trying to communicate as much as possible with our customers, with our resellers, and it's nice to know all these small things like the name of the customer, just so we can focus on the particular environment that they're having, so we can find them easier in our systems as well, and all these things that can actually help improve the whole service desk experience.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, see, we have some questions here.
Yeah.
Is there a cost to my company for how many people in my company can open and create cases with you?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's also a general question that can be addressed by knowing that there's only one free support user, and that's by default assigned to the license administrator, and that's pretty much the only user that has the support role, which is for free.
Yes.
Every other extra support user would involve costs.
Yes, I believe it's 500 crowns or 70 euro per user per month.
Yeah.
If you want to add more support users.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also find this on the website, or you can always ask us again if anything. Yeah.
Nicole asks, what about support by phone for small cases, or all should be created by website? We prefer all be created on our service desk. Of course, if it's a small thing that's not technical, you can always try to call us. Sometimes we have an answer for it. If it's also for the license server, most people know about this, but the more technical cases, please make a service desk ticket.
Yeah.
And if you don't have access rights to it, you can always try to locate the person in your company who has access, and he can create it for you, or you can create it through his profile, whatever you see fit. So
this is true, and it's also very good questions because there's oftentimes cases where, let's say during the holiday periods, where the support user is not available, and therefore a service desk ticket cannot be created, and or the license administrator is not available. So it's also actually nice to always have a support user that can have access no matter what.
Please locate your support user, because we have a lot of cases with the support user going on holiday and then the whole company up in flames and not being able to create a service ticket, and that's not very optimal. So please make sure when your support guy goes on holiday or leave or whatever, make sure someone else takes over that responsibility, just in case you want to make support tickets, because you cannot create support tickets without support user rights. So just keep that in mind. We have some cases about it. So Henrik asked, would it be possible to close a case when the answers solve the case? Yes, I believe you can just write, we figured out ourselves, please close the case. Or
so essentially the users cannot really close the case themselves.
No.
But it would be nice to know that the issue has been solved through a comment. You could say, as you mentioned also.
Just write, we figured out by ourselves, you can close the case. I also think we have a loop. If we haven't heard back from you in 15 days, you will get a first warning saying we're going to close the ticket since we haven't heard from you. And then the second time we're going to close the ticket. Just so you know, so there's actually time limits, so you cannot just wait a year to answer the ticket. Okay, we got 3 minutes left, so now's the time if anybody have any questions. Like I said in the beginning, we're going to put this up on YouTube. You should also get this by mail, by email you registered for this webinar. Please follow us on LinkedIn if you don't already do that, and sign up for our newsletter, because that is primarily where we keep our communication and marketing material and new releases and everything like that. So if you want to stay up to date with AMC Banking, please sign up for these. I think we can manage one more question. See, a lot of people are typing here. Long question. Also, if you have any feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down, any recommendations or improvements, also let us know. It would be nice. So we know if there's anything else we need to focus on these webinars. If you have any topics you think would be interesting, also let us know.